Hello, this is Terry. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Amethystastrotarot. I'm a practicing astrologer and a tarot reader. And today's video, this is my second video actually, about the upcoming solar eclipse in Aries. You may head to my video about the technical details, degrees, and dates, and all that details about the chart. You may head to my video, and here I would be more talking about the interpretation part, which would be the general interpretations, because as you may imagine, I don't know the details of all the individual charts, but depending on this general sense, general taste, general flavor of the interpretation, you may adapt some parts into your own lives as well. So, for the solar eclipse, I always like going back to sources I might have read a few hundred times. So that's why I read the part about partial eclipses, because this would be a partial eclipse in Claire Martin's book, one of my favorite books, Mapping the Psyche, Volume 3. And as I mentioned in the technical details part, the distance between moon and the sun and the north node is in this upcoming solar eclipse will be 12 degrees. And as per the definition in the book, partial and pulse eclipses can occur up to a distance of 19 degrees of the nodal axis. So why partial? In very simple terms, the moon will not be completely covering the disk of the sun. That's the simplest explanation for why it being called partial. So in this sense, the question comes to our mind is, what might the solar eclipse mean in terms of astrology? So we are talking about astrology. As we need to have a new moon for it to happen, we may start with the new seeds to be planted, but maybe some seeds in this case that could be more crucial than the ones we plant in an ordinary new moon in terms of solar eclipse. And I think that as the new moon could mean a complete fresh start, so the solar eclipse might mean the same. And they might be as a result of putting an end to something and giving the chance to a new beginning, or it could be a complete 0 kilometer start as well. But there is that if we, I mean, like end stuff and start a new stuff, there could be this feeling of discontinuance, but at the same time continuance from a different why. And how would it be Aries way? Because it's in Aries with full power on in an energetic, bold way, it's like there's a bravery, courage that is, coming through braveness or being courageous coming through the Aries and maybe making sure that without getting too impatient, which could be an Aries quality from time to time, or frustrated when the things don't start in the way we want, or when we don't have the power to be in 5 different places for the same project. So as I told again in the technical part, it's the first sign, first decan, first 10 degrees of this first sign. All that Mars energy ruling over this fiery initiative. Maybe we need to make sure that we choose our battles wisely, the ones in which our fighting spirit, the assertive warrior lying within us, might serve us the best. And the moon and the sun, as I said, they have only each other in this position of the sky during the solar eclipse, hand in hand, taking the first steps to start a divine unity in the sky during the eclipse. And like the darkness of the moon, right? In this phase, we will be expecting for a short period the partial darkness of the sun. So things will not be clear, at least right away, even though Mars and Aries might call for haste from time to time. It could be useful to wait until we start seeing the light, and also thinking about the planet of communication, Mercury, and the planet of relationships, and also the values, and also the art and the peace and harmony. And of course, Mercury, we talk about communication, but it's our words and the written and oral, the way that we think. They are all in their retrograde periods, even they are not in direct contact with um, uh, the leading actors of the solar eclipse. We have to take into consideration that in some part of our lives we are in a halt, in a break, in a reflection and re-evaluation period. So that's why also it gives another reason for us to wait until we start seeing the light. And there could be a real lot of potential with this new star, lots of energy coming through it. And Moon and Cancer, uh, Moon and Mars. Oh, this I just saw that I saw said Moon and Cancer, which I have to correct. Moon and Mars will be in each other's signs, being in mutual reception, another way of connection. And with Mars being the dispositor of the solar eclipse and the new moon, there is this there is this inclusion of a more nurturing emotional element, while the initiative sense of cardinal energy being in there with us. And the nodal axis. Looking at the nodal axis, we can first think about the nodal axis is actually is in a lot of kind of touch with the sky, except that it's too far away from the sun and the moon, but with the rest of the sky, they are like kind of full on. And especially looking at the North Node being in Pisces and South Node in Virgo, it's a more spiritual calling this time compared to a more individualistic one back in 2006 eclipse. And there is more service and healing rather than this juggling to try to find a balance between the others and ourselves. And the harmony and the uh, nice dance, our warrior energy, which Mars in Cancer might have with our life journey, which is the nodal axis, where we come from, where we lead to. And I think that also the connection of the uh, nodal axis uh, with the ideals and dreams, and then the sudden changes and all this maturing up, emotional maturing up in certain areas of our lives, and also all their connection with this, mm, our way of thinking, our way of communicating, our way of valuing things and relating to people, I think is really quite important. And we have to really consider in that sense that especially when we think about the way forward, getting out from our comfort zone to go to a point that maybe we don't know much about, but we know that we want to reach to a point that where we could improve ourselves. We could be not really different people, but we could be maybe a better version of ourselves. I think that the importance of that fighting spirit and the maturity and the ideals and the values and also our ideas could be really important when we think about the uh, this chart of the solar eclipse. So I would say that I wish everyone a lovely solar eclipse and new moon, and hopefully we may have the chance to get the best results of the new seeds planted during this period. Don't forget to think about 2006, but also take into consideration that the sky was not the same like this time. But you can always think like which area of life this solar eclipse and new moon would be happening and what kind of new things we can start uh, to have a maybe a better future, better opportunities in that area of life. So I wish everyone all the best and bye bye.